So they cloud ideals, they destroy pure love, respect for marriage, affection for the family. I mean, the idea of marriage in today's world just doesn't even basically exist anymore. It means nothing to these people. It means nothing because they think that you can just get a divorce. So, marriage is not as big of a deal when you could just get a divorce, right? It's like, hey, we'll try it out. And if it doesn't work out, hey, no. When you marry that person, you're married till you die. There's no divorce. That's over with. The Old Testament, that's done. When you marry someone validly today, you're married till you die, whether you believe it or not. In God's eyes, you're married till somebody dies. Either they die or you die. Till death do us part is not a joke. People say till death do us part like it's just, like a slogan. Till death do us part. Yeah, it means what it says. You're married till someone dies. There's no divorce. And you see, like the Lord said, he who puts away his wife and marries another commits adultery. And what does the commandment say? Thou shalt not commit adultery. So you cannot get divorced without you can't even get divorced, period. Like just trying to divorce the person, you can't. The bond cannot end without death. But if you divorce someone, quote unquote, you're validly married, right? You go with somebody else, that's adultery, a mortal sin. So yeah, the world has no respect for marriage anymore, obviously. All the premarital conduct in the movies, they never, wait until marriage for intimacy or anything. It's just complete debauchery and filth. No morals, no values, nothing. They destroy pure love. And of course, pure love is not lust, is actually loving your neighbor as yourself, loving your wife as your own flesh. Okay. That's pure love. Love that is rooted in God's values, in God's teachings, love of God, bringing forth out of your soul love for your neighbor with respect to your love for God. Not loving your neighbor more than you love God, but loving your neighbor because you love God, loving your neighbor through your love of God. That's pure love. But pure love is not even a factor in modern day anything. Respect for marriage, as I said, tossed out the window. There's no respect for anything. All the women live like prostitutes. All the men live like, just debaucherous, godless, just whatever. It's horrible. It's truly horrible. And I want to mention too, on this channel, when I first started this channel, I was trying to be more, how do we say, I guess less abrasive, less, I don't know what the word is. Less transparent, maybe? Like more, how do we say? I guess trying to appeal more to the average person rather than just speaking completely freely and speaking like my true soul out and stuff like that. But I feel like doing that, it's not that I can't do it or I think there's anything necessarily wrong with it, because I do try to avoid religious interaction or conversation with infidels and stuff like that. But especially because now I don't read comments anymore, I think I don't care anymore. Like, I think I don't care anymore because I don't read comments anymore. Like, I'm not interacting with anyone personally. I'm not like responding to comments or hoping, oh, I hope they like my video. I hope I get more subscribers. I hope people whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Because I don't care anymore, I can just speak freely, and it's kind of liberating. It is truly liberating, where I can just, because I hate this debauchery and stuff. I hate to see sodomy promoted, prostitutes everywhere, all that stuff. And originally I didn't want to like speak that way here, but I feel as though my soul is like, how do we say? My soul is kind of fighting to be free. My soul is like, let me speak the truth. Let me express my hatred of filth, Like, let me say that I hate filth and not care. And I think, too, is like, when you're on YouTube and you're trying to appeal to, a general audience and all this garbage, it's like you want to avoid offending people and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I just can't be bothered to care anymore. I can't. I just can't do it. I'm laughing at myself because I didn't think I would start, speaking this openly in this video, but I just can't. I can't do it anymore, man. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't just sit by and hide my true feelings about all this filth in the world. I can't do it. And if someone sees this video, for example, and they go, "Oh, I didn't know he felt that way," or whatever, then okay, is whatever. You want to unsubscribe? Go ahead. That's totally up to you, right? Totally up to you, man. Whoever God wills to like this channel, to like this kind of content, to like hearing me say truth about hating debauchery and filth, let God bring those people if he wills, Whoever God wills to like it will like it, and all that kind of stuff is whatever. God's will be done. I just can't bother to care anymore. It's just too fake, I guess, Too fake in a way. And of course, I never said anything that was I never lied on the channel. I never said, "Oh yeah, I support whatever rights." I never said that kind of garbage. But I didn't express that I hated that kind of filth, that kind of way, because I was trying to appeal to like a general audience and all that kind of stuff. But I just can't be bothered anymore, man. I just can't. I just can't do it. I'm so fed up personally in my personal life. I'm so tired of seeing nothing but filth that I have to just express it. I have to just be like, you know what? I will say the truth. I will speak and just not care. I'm gonna die one day by the grace of God, hopefully in the state of grace. May I die in the state of grace having spoken the truth. That's all I can say. May I die knowing that the truth is what proceeded from my mouth. Ah, wonderful. Wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling to speak freely, man. So yeah, let's continue here. Pure love, they destroy pure love. No respect for marriage, affection for the family. Affection for the family. Complete garbage. There's no affection for the family in the modern world. There's none. That doesn't even exist anymore because so many so-called families are just single mothers, right? Unmarried women who 99% of the time prostituted themselves to have their children. And now they're single or whatever, and there's no father in the picture, or the father lives somewhere else with another woman or whatever. All this kind of just debauchery everywhere, right? There's no consistency of the married couple who have been married for however long, stayed together, have a family, all that kind of stuff. That is how the world should be. That is how society should be structured. The family. That is the beginning of our lives on earth, our family. And if your family is a structure, a unit of debauchery, then 99% of the time, the children will be products of that environment and be units of debauchery themselves. Because they're going to grow up thinking, "Oh, it's okay to have a mother who's living like a prostitute and my father is some guy down the street," and all that kind of filth. They're going to think it's okay, right? It's not. That's not how things should be. That's not how life should be. You should have a mother and a father who are married, who didn't do anything with each other before marriage, and are loyal to each other, faithful to each other, all that kind of stuff. But I will say, it is difficult to have a good marriage, to have a lasting marriage without love of God. Because without love of God, 99% of the time, you're going to have people committing adultery, whether it is in their mind or physically. You're going to have, just not that true love. That you won't have that true respect for marriage, that understanding that divorce is wrong and doesn't even really truly exist anymore, and all this kind of stuff. Without love of God, it is very unlikely that you're going to have a stable, loyal marriage. Not saying it's impossible. Certainly an infidel, I think, is capable of having a stable, loyal marriage. But the chances of it happening are not very high. And even for people who are, let's say, actually Catholics, is not going to be easy without extreme help from God to perfect your souls, because the married state requires a supernatural level of patience, compassion, selflessness, all those kinds of things. And it's very rare to find those virtues in anyone, even someone who is a real Catholic. It may have a difficult time being exceptionally advanced in those virtues. So, having a truly godly marriage, a holy marriage, is a rare thing, even in the Catholic Church. So, if in the Church of God it's difficult, generally speaking, to have a godly marriage like that, how much more difficult is it to have one outside the church, you know? So, the affection for the family basically doesn't exist anymore in today's world. The single mother is championed as the hero of society and feminism and all this kind of other garbage, okay?